to be here tonight. My name is Amy Clark Meachum. I'm running for Civil District Court here in Travis County, Texas. These are county-wide benches. A couple things I'll just start with, even though I've only been given 2 minutes. I'm sure you'll get to know me more as we move on. But I think it's great that we're here tonight, that Southwest Key is holding this forum. Sometimes the judiciary is the overlooked branch of government, and it's great running for office for the judiciary. The part that's good about it is getting out and meeting people like you and talking to them about what the courts do, how important they are to the community. You know, democracy is about majority rule, but it's also about minority rights. And it's these district courts. It's the district courts that actually protect that. It's the judiciary that protects that. And so sometimes we get really caught up in the races that go on with the governor race or the state rep races, but it's great to have a forum like this where we can talk about the judiciary. A little bit about me: I am a civil trial lawyer. I'm at the law firm of McGinnis, Lockridge, and Kilgore. It is an 80-year-old firm in town. We've produced a lot of great judges over the years. And I do both sides of the docket. I sue drug companies. For the last 6 years, I've been suing drug companies very successfully all across the country, getting women and children and men the compensation, their just compensation in courts. I also defend lawyers who've been sued for malpractice. When the best lawyers in the state get sued, I represent them. And I think that talks to you a lot about the respect I hold amongst my peers, amongst lawyers in the profession, because they come to me to help them and to talk to them about ethics issues. I've had a lot of opportunity, and I had a lot of success in school. It didn't always start out that way. I had to get to school on scholarships and loans, but I've been able to graduate at the top of my class from UT Law and put that to work for the last 10 years practicing civil trial law in the state of Texas. So I'll let Tim talk now. I don't want to go too much longer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for putting this together. We as candidates really do appreciate the opportunity to come into the community and to hear your concerns about judges, because unfortunately most people's exposure to judges is when they have to come into the courtroom. And that's not the most conducive time to have a discussion about anything other than the business that's before the court at the moment. So I appreciate the opportunity here. I echo the comments that Amy made. Southwest Key is a great group for doing this, and we're really gratified to do that. I'll tell you briefly a little bit about me as well. I grew up in the small town of West, Texas. West is on I-35 just north of Waco. I grew up there, spent 17 years there. Dad was a state employee. Mom was a stay-at-home mom, raised 5 children. All 5 of us were fortunate enough to get through the University of Texas. Dad died before I could get to college, so I went through college on Social Security and on loans. Worked my way through school, started working actually at age 13, and worked all the way through college, all the way through law school. And then I was fortunate all along the way to have really good teachers, really good mentors, and I guess, you know, someone looking over my shoulder and helping me make some good choices along the way. I got to Austin almost 40 years ago, so I've seen Austin grow, I've seen Austin evolve, I've seen things that have changed Austin for the better, I've seen things that have changed for the worse. So I have that perspective on Austin. I've practiced law for over 30 years representing families and workers in workers' compensation cases, injury cases, discrimination cases, harassment cases, those types of things, going up against the strong and the powerful interests and standing up for those who don't have a voice and don't have power. And that's what our courts are supposed to be about. I've done a lot in the Bar Association. I was vice chair of the Commission for Lawyer Discipline, which oversees lawyers' conduct throughout the state to make sure that they behave ethically and professionally with their clients and with the judges. And so I've got the experience in the community, in the legal community, and the ethics and integrity and the work ethic to be a judge, and I would welcome the opportunity to do that for you. Thank you.
If you had to choose, assuming these fell on different sides, between following the law or doing what you felt in your heart was fair in making a ruling, what would you do? Sulak gets to start.
really tough question in a minute is really tough. That's you know, philosophy 101 or maybe philosophy, you know, 601. The law tries to be fair. The law isn't always written fairly. The legislators pass the laws and the judges have to enforce them. A trial judge, like Judge Shepard, will tell you that that is probably the hardest conundrum for a trial judge, because a trial judge is being graded. And if the trial judge doesn't follow the law, the appellate court comes down on him or her and says, you did the wrong thing. You didn't apply the law, and you swore an oath to follow the law, to honor the law, and to obey the law. So you didn't meet your oath as a professional. You didn't meet your oath as a public servant. Now, on the other side, if there's some compelling facts about it, you just say, that's not fair. And I guess sometimes, and maybe Judge Shepard, who does this on a day-to-day basis, can tell us how that's done. But I think sometimes as a trial judge, on the discretionary matters, things that fall between the cracks, that you try to do what's fair, and you hope that that passes without it being taken up or that kind of thing. But I mean, it's the age-old conundrum about, you know, the fellow who steals bread to feed his family. What do you do about that guy? You know, he's trying to do the right thing, but he's broken a law. So it's a tough question.
It's a tough question. Trial court judges follow the law. I mean, it's tough to say that. There's obviously, for all the reasons Tim mentioned, there's always going to be a conundrum there. Remember when Justice Sotomayor was going through her hearings earlier this year, and she made the statement that public policy is made at the appellate court level? Well, the counter to that didn't get as much play, because they were obviously trying to get her on the fact that she was going to be an activist judge, right, was basically her point that it's not made at the trial court level. So what she was explaining was, when I was a district court judge at the federal court level, that is not where any public policy is made, because your job is to follow the law. And then the counter to that was, of course, at the appellate court level, it is a little bit more where public policy is made. So good trial court judges follow the law. You obviously, to the extent you can, you want to listen to everything fairly. And if there is a way that you can follow the law and do what's in your heart, that's what you do. But there's obviously going to be things that you don't like about the law. That's just part of it. And you're just going to have to follow it and hope that those all get worked out on appeal. With those public policy judges.
Thank you.